Welcome everyone to an awesome game between Tzeentch and Samarek going up against WWD and the Ogre Kingdoms. Now two very interesting builds here coming from both sides. Starting with the Ogre Kingdoms, 2 units of the Noblar scrap launchers at the front. Relatively cheap there for very mobile artillery pieces, bringing good range and missile strength. The only one thing they do lack is good armor piercing. Now that's going to be brought here with the powder guts in the secondary line. They're also going to bring the adaptive tactics, making them very good there with that armor piercing weapon strength. For the main battle line being pretty normal, 5 units of the Noblars, and they're going to be supported by something rather strange. So Ogre Balls with the triple gold Chevron. Now, I'm not too sure the reason for this. Of course, they've only got 30 armor, so they can get dragged down rather easily. But you can see all those melee attack and leadership bonuses, making them rather strong indeed. In the backside, we are going to have also Saber Tusk packs, bringing the triple gold Chevron. So there's going to be 4 here in total. And of course, they're also lightly armored, so Mass Plink and Blue Fire can actually take down these cheap units. For the Lord Choice, we are going to be having the Slaughter Master of the Great Maw here with the Belly Slapper and the Blood Cleaver. Also the spells of the Maw and the ability of the extra ingredients. So very interesting army composition. Very interested to see how the Noblar scrap launchers perform. Now, coming from the forces of Tzeentch, now we have 4 units of the Screamers, 2 in the back, 1 on the left and 1 on the right. 4 units of the Forsaken in the front, 85 armor and mass weapon strength, supported by the double spawn, of course, bringing the armor sundering, making that weapon strength so goddamn powerful. In the back line, 4 units of the Blue Horrors, and in the sky, a Herald of Tzeentch magic. Now, the Herald today is going to be bringing the Arcane Conduit, the Fires of Change, and the spells of the Blue and Pink Flames. We're also going to be having the Chromatic Tome, the Locus of Conjuration, and the Opal Amulet. So 2 very interesting army designs. We can see actually rotating is going to be the powder guts. So they're going to come for the high ground here. Looks like they've been learning from young Obi-Wan Kenobi. As we do see here, shots going up against the Screamers. You know, they're going to be taking quite a bit of shield off there. I don't know if these guys have been nerfed, but I definitely don't see them as much as I used to in the open patch and the open beta. We do see some shots coming forward from the Herald. He's going to be firing up against the Noblar scrap launcher. Blue Flames going to be very good here up against the artillery piece. Of course, this big bad boy is a massive hitbox here to hit. And you can see we have 3,500 for the second and the first one there. Yes, it's lost over 1,000 HP. So really, really good stuff there. Early doors coming from Samarek. We're going to come around the flanks here. Screamers, of course, going to be anti-large and armor piercing. So maybe hoping here we could fight up against quite a few armored units. Now we do see powder guts. They're going to be firing, actually putting a bit of pressure here on the Herald of Tzeentch magic. I don't know if these bad boys, yes, they can fire whilst moving. That's really, really powerful, actually. Powder guts that are very, very mobile at 54 speed. They can fire. Luckily, they don't have 360 range. That could be very, very, impressive indeed. Now, we do see the Herald. He's actually going to be using his Opal Amulet and another Blue Flame coming down into the pocket. It looks like we're going to be targeting one of the Noblar scrap launchers like that very much. It's going to be going down to 2,300 HP. In the backside here, Saber Tusks do need to be ready. The only range tools here are going to be the powder guts. Now, we could actually charge in. We do actually have the Screamers in the backside. Definitely want to charge in and compromise the powder guts rather earlier than later. They're going to be firing in against the front line. We see quite a bit of damage here to the Forsaken in the front line. Scrap launchers are mixing alongside the Man-Eater Ogre pistols. Certainly have done some very good work indeed. So here we go. We're now going to be in the fight. We're now going to be having Ogre Balls backed up by Noblars. Really trying to scrap it up against the Forsaken. And it looks like the Forsaken are now going to get backed up by the spawn. You need that armor sundering in there, especially up against the Ogre Balls with those triple chevrons. You need that weapon strength really, really doing the business. Saber Tusk is going to be charging through. I'm not too sure where they're looking to go here. Maybe looking to protect the powder guts. We have quite a few coming around on the left-hand flank. They're going to be getting into the backside up against the Blue Horrors, and they really haven't been protected, sadly. So now we're going to be having Saber Tusk just shredding through the forces. And you can see they're all stacked on top of each other. This is a bit of a micro mistake here in the middle. We do see Saber Tusk going left, right, and centre. Really good stuff from WWD. He has capitalised on this rather large mistake. Now, one spell here of the Great Maw is going to be disgusting. If we get one Great Maw here, that is going to be the end of the entirety of all 4 units of the Blue Horrors. Over on the main battle line, looks like we are going to be roughly winning here as Tzeentch. Not too much to write home about, but it's going to be a rough win. The Blue Horrors here, I'm just waiting for one ginormous spell. This is really going to finish off the Tzeentch player. In the backside, we do have Screamers. They're going to be charging forward. A little bit late here for me. Most of the battle has been done already. They're coming to the party just a little bit late. We do see here the powder guts getting into the backside. Blue Horrors are actually just going to be falling regardless. Maybe no spells are going to be needed here. Just wait for a Great Maw or the later stage. Now, we do see at the front here, the Lord Choice has taken quite a bit of damage here fighting against the Forsaken. He's going to be only having 40 armor, but that weapon strength really can do the business. Now, we're going to be fighting in the middle up against the Saber-Tusk packs. And what is this going to be here? This looks like it's going to be a blue and pink flames. This is going to be the ability coming from Tzeentch. And look at this bombardment just raining down all over the Saber-Tusks and the Ogre Balls. It's actually going to be catching a lot of their own units and doing some pretty good damage. In the middle, we are going to get Screamers fighting here up against these Scrap Launchers and compromising the Powder Guts, forcing them into melee combat. But these bad boys really can fight. Those ginormous scimitars getting in and doing some fantastic armor-piercing work up against these glorious Screamers. In the backside, we do break the Ogre Balls. We do actually find that the Forsaken fighting here up against the Saber-Tusk, the triple gold Chevron, and also that Rampage there might be enough just to do some good damage to maybe push off these Forsaken. In the sky, the Tzeentch caster is going to be looking rather light there on health. Not looking the healthiest he's ever been, but the Noblard Scrap Launcher is now going to be fighting in melee combat. He is anti-infantry armor piercing. He is technically a chariot model, so he can do some good work, but of course the spawn are going to trap him in place. So we're going to be fighting there. He's going to be breaking. And we do actually get a blue flame coming up against the caster. So the Lord Choice is getting absolutely slapped here by the Herald of Tzeentch Magic. Bit of a shot there into the backside of the Ogre Balls. That's actually going to be causing under fire as well. So that -5 leadership really breaking that unit. Doing some very good work indeed. A bit of a mistake, but still, nonetheless, it's coming through and affecting all that leadership. The Lord Choice is broken. Massacre has been activated, giving terror and all those base weapon increases. Extra ingredients was also activated, but we don't need this many Screamers chasing after the Lord Choice. Get some of the Screamers in the backside and pushing off some of these units. So some are going to return. Maybe the Lord Choice. You definitely need to keep one on and have the rest attacking the remainder of the build. In the middle of the Powder Guts, Massacre have been activated. We're also going to get those bonuses as they were losing in combat. That was making them absolute demons in melee combat, and they're doing very, very well indeed. Pink Flame down the line here, catching both of the Noblards. It's also going to arm asunder just a little bit, and that's going to do some really, really nice work. Balance of power here is in the Ogre Kingdom favour, but for how long is the question? You see the white line is rather close. The Lord Choice is getting pushed off, and we do see in the middle it's going to be a blue flame plus the faction of it. Oh my god! Okay, that was it then for the artillery piece. That is going to be finished rather quickly. And it's going to be a bucket load of the Noblards left, some of the Ogre Balls, and then the Saber-Tusk packs, clearing up the Forsaken. We do actually have Saber-Tusk charging through here with the Ogre Balls, doing some good work at the front. They're going to charge straight on top of the spawn of Tzeentch, and they're doing some relatively good work, I must say so. It looks like it's going to be a pretty even fight here in the middle of the spawn. We'll do some nice work. They have 130 weapon strength plus armor sundering, and we have them basically no armor for the Ogre Balls. It's going to be, if we do hit 130 weapon strength, just dawning down on these big Ogre models. In the middle, it does look like the Powder Guts do return. 2 units of the Noblards on the edge of the battlefield as well. The Lord Choice still hasn't been removed from the battlefield. You kind of need to have your units in behind so we can push him off the edge of the map. Now for the main battle line, it looks like we're still going to be fighting here. Spawn are going to be scrapping to the best of their ability. It's going to be a super close game, further and further pulling into the favour here of the Ogre Kingdoms. Now we need to start cycle charging into the backside of the Noblar, see if we can break quite a few of these units. And you can see a lot of the Screamers have been unfortunately gone for a little bit far too long here. They were using too many units to try and chase off one Lord Choice. We do get a blue flame in the middle. It looks like it's going to be targeting the Ogre Balls. I can't help but think removing the Noblars might be a little bit better. If they start breaking, you also then start getting that negative effect here on the remainder of the army. Then you'll see actually a mass rout, and that's when you can actually start pushing off your opponents using your more mobile tools. Now we'll just see one break is going to turn to shatter. Shatters are going to turn into more breaks, and the leadership here is really not holding for the Ogre Kingdoms. In the middle, it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units breaking. A very, very weak unit in the back there of the Ogre Balls. A Noblar's pushing in with more Ogre Balls, and it's like the Powder Guts are still ready to scrap here in the middle. Screamers are going to be fighting, but is there enough left? I think at this point the Lord Choice just has to get involved. He's actually going to be fighting on his disc in the middle up against the backside of the Noblars. I think that's some really good work. He might even break the Noblars here. If he breaks those Noblars, maybe we can get a mass chain rout. The Lord Choice is more than likely, yes, he is going to be off the battlefield. That will be -16 leadership, I would have thought, here up against. There we go, Lord has fled, -16. That will actually go down to -10 after a short period. Pink Flame through the middle is going to catch a lot of the Noblars, and it looks like they are going to be breaking. Saber-Tusks are just about holding on, but for how long is the question. It looks like we are going to get an armor sundering shot here from Tzeentch coming down into the pocket. Do not allow your Lord Choice to get caught here, though. Screamers are going to be fighting in combat, but can we do this? Rampaging here with the Saber-Tusk packs. The Lord Choice is in the sky. He's actually going to be catching onto the backside of the Noblars. Screamers are going to be faltering, but they are going to be fighting to the best of their abilities. They fall. It's just going to be the Lord Choice. That is Army losses. GG's and well played. Very, very good stuff. Really, really good stuff here from both sides. Really enjoyed that. That was a fantastic battle indeed, with some very, very interesting army compositions. I do see relatively similar matchups coming from most people. Of course, min-maxing in the multiplayer scene is something that's definitely prevalent for sure. But here, there were some very, very interesting armies. Now, we do see the Tzeentch caster coming at 2,300, 702, 600 for the spawn of Tzeentch. So, okay overall, but not too amazing. 1,150, 575 with 260, and then also 900 for the Forsaken. 1.4, 370, 800, and 140 there for the Screamers. Now we do see in the middle 240, 120, 95, and 160. Now, of course, one little thing there for Samurai, of course, with the Blue Horrors, they all got put together, just one of the Great Moors, and that would have finished off that unit rather quickly. One thing I would recommend, I think you can certainly dump more into your main army. I don't think Screamers are particularly all that useful in this matchup. I think there's other tools you can use to arm asunder, like Spawn of Tzeentch. I think just coming with Furies will do well enough. Furies will deal with lead belchers. They'll also do a bit of a good scrap here up against Manny-to Ogre pistols. They won't win, but they'll hold them back long enough that you can fight in the main engagement and, you know, certainly whittle down some of these units. So one thing I'd say is watch onto the Blue Horrors. I mean, I do like the Screamers. I haven't tested it too much myself, but something there for him to consider. Also here for the Ogre Kingdoms, well played WWD. Seen so many games from this guy recently, and he's been playing very, very well. It's been really enjoyable to cast. 380 there for the Slaughtermaster of the Great Moor. 2,100 for the Powder Guts. A very, very good unit indeed. 300, 430 for the Noblar Scrap Launchers. Quite like those indeed. I do think, though, with these three elements being the only ranged tools, we needed to certainly get our Screamers in a little bit earlier doors and shut down these elements rather quickly. You could have had one front on charge, bit of a hammer and anvil tactic here on the Powder Guts, and then the other two Screamers chasing off the Noblar Scrap Launchers. Even if they just kept them busy, they would have kept them moving around the battlefield, prevented them firing at the front line, and then that alongside, you know, not making the mistake of the Blue Horrors, maybe split them up in different directions, so all the Saber Tusks have to work and do some, you know, definitely have to work hard. Would mean that you know, maybe could have been a bit of a different outcome. But 580 there, 670, 680, and 615 there for the Saber Tusks. With the triple gold chevrons, making them actually not paying for themselves. Maybe one or two here paying for themselves, but overall not too much. 990, 670, 690, and 880 there for the Ogre Balls. I can't help but think maybe actually paying for Ogre Ball dual weapons might have been a bit better. Maybe just some food for thought there. Of course, they bring the anti-infantry, or if you really wanted a bit of extra melee defense, you know, going there with the shielded variety, that then also bring that 8 extra melee defense. You know, maybe just some thoughts there for WWD. You know, or of course, do feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. But 67, 120, 230, 165 there for the Noblars. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please smash that like button and subscribe. It really does help here the growth of the channel. And other than that, I've been your boy Logic. Take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all very, very soon.